Somebody come get 'em. They're too old for TikTok.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for TikTok. It's April. A lot of things happening on TikTok. It's still not banned, so that's great news. How are you, Catalina?
I'm doing well. I am just, chillaxing.
Great.
It was Easter, which doesn't really mean anything that much to me. I'm not a big Easter celebrator, but I did have I made empanadas with some friends.
That's so fun.
That was delicious.
I once celebrated Easter with your family, and your mom made me a basket, and you guys hid it, and I had to find it, and I was like, oh, this is just like finding the afikoman on Passover.
Yeah, except
same.
Way bigger, so ostensibly easier to find.
Yeah.
But in my family, my sister was always horrible at finding her basket and would end up going outside all the time. And I was like, you have to enter the mind of our mother, and she's not going outside to hide this basket.
Right.
So think strategically.
The afikoman was always hidden under the tablecloth. That's how lazy people in my family were. But then once we caught on, the microwave is always a good hiding spot.
Do you remember when I went to your house for Passover? And is that when you hide the afikoman?
Yes.
And I found it and you got mad?
Yeah, because I like to find it. I'm competitive.
Well, speaking of competitive, I'm in third place in March Madness right now.
Oh, yeah, you're doing well. My bracket is very busted. I'll end up in last place, so I'm kind of just dissociated. I really don't care about March Madness anymore.
Wow, I'm refreshing it. I'm when are the games? I'm curious,
The votes are in, you keep saying.
The votes are in.
I will be watching. I'm actually keen on the women's tournament because it's just actually more fun to watch, and they're great players. There's Caitlin Clark, so I'm keeping an eye on that tournament.
Wow, I'm just noticing. We got manicures together last weekend, and my manicure is wrecked.
Yours is wrecked. Mine is wrecked, but it's holding up much better than yours.
Well, I did start sort of picking at it.
Oh, see, I'm not a picker, so mine stays intact longer.
I also have a comment about us recording in person.
Yes.
I think that when we're together, we speak too fast. I tried to listen to our episode from last week, and I was like, I can't understand these bitches.
Counterpoint, I think when we don't record together, we speak too slow. It's probably boring. People probably need to listen at 2-point speed.
Maybe. I don't know. But if I could...
Who knows? Maybe there's a happy medium.
I felt like we were a mile a minute. We were a mile a minminute jumping this and that, this and there.
Right. And we kept interrupting each other, which I just interrupted you. So, I don't think it matters. But it was fun.
Yeah. Changes the dynamic.
Back in Ohio.
I know, but we'll be together again soon.
We will. I'll be coming to Ohio to Cedar Point, and it's going to be such a grand time.
Grand. Well, shall we discuss TikTok?
Let's discuss TikTok. So last week, we didn't talk about this, but it was really all over my For You page as a woman in New York City. It was just girls getting punched in the face in New York City, and it was really scary. I know, Catalina, we've spoken about it. You don't like the fear-mongering aspect. So I want to take a more positive spin on it before we go dark, because obviously getting punched in the face is horrible. No woman should. But I think it was a case of women helping women. I think a lesson, don't look at your phone when you're walking around. I have to be reminded of that. That did remind me of it. Mm-hmm. Women sharing their stories, I think it helped, find people, and it helped people come forward to call the police instead of stay silent. So I just want to take a more positive spin at what was a very scary time. It was scary.
I felt as though it was giving that guy, what was his name? Bob, John, Dan.
I have no idea who
the
you're
single
talking about.
name guy who got obsessed with all the men who drowned and started making spreadsheets and maps of all the different men in different cities around the country who had drowned, and saying that it was actually the smiley face killer, and saying that he had cracked the case.
Oh my God, I think this is totally different, because we heard first count from women who were getting...
First-hand account.
firsthand account from women who actually got punched.
Well,
So
Bethany
I'm not talking
Frankel claimed to be punched.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother story.
So-
Like whether allegedly, yeah. But the women who did get punched, it was a firsthand account. I'm not talking about the people who were trying to solve who it was or maybe like taking false things, but hearing firsthand to say like, hey girls, like be careful out there. This is happening. I think is very different.
There are so many firsthand accounts on TikTok, though, that are not real, that are done for the views. And so I'm highly suspicious when something becomes a trend that suddenly all these people are coming out of the woodwork going viral with their firsthand account. You know, actually, what was, I was just talking to someone about J-Lo being dragged on TikTok. And
Yes.
one of the, like, videos of someone who is talking about how they worked on the set and they were on set when she was saying that line about like being on the block with her hair all tousled, the one that is
Right.
going viral. That person, it's super believable. They didn't work on the movie.
Of course, right. Okay, I get it. Like, definitely, you can't believe everything you see on the internet, but I'm going to believe these women who got punched in the face.
Are there, like, have you looked beyond TikTok at any news reports or any, like, corroborated sources?
Yeah, there's definitely news reports of people who like spoke to the police and then reporters who reached out to them. And there's at least 4 who are, it's very real.
So
like,
is it
the
a
news
single
reported on
face
them.
puncher or is it multiple face punchers?
This is where it gets murky because they did catch one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then this was one who was mostly punching from what I saw, like women in the West Village. Now, there were other videos of people who said they got punched. They said maybe there was another puncher. I don't know the truth, so I'm not going to speculate that, but the news did catch one of the punchers, and yes, girls were actually punched, so that is fact.
I think it's also interesting that in what could be perceived as somewhat isolated incidents, like how many girls came forward on the internet, it's amplified in such a way that it seems like it's like a much bigger phenomenon. So there's like 4 girls that get punched, which is bad, obviously, but in a city of 12 million, that's actually like a very small number of people
Right.
getting punched.
At one point, like there was a TikToker who said it was like 40 people punched. But again, I don't know how many exactly, but they did catch one guy.
Once when Ivan and I were in the city, we were walking on the street and this guy walked past and like started like screaming at Ivan and being like, what? And like walked into him, like just like hit him with his body.
Yeah. Body check.
And we were just like, what is happening?
That happened to Ben once too.
Yeah,
like someone started like woofing in his face, like barking, and then like body checked
Yeah.
him when we were walking together.
And so this is why I'm saying with like the
city-
fear mongering where these things happen frequently, and so amplifying it and making it seem like there's like a serial puncher that every woman's gonna get punched by, I'm a little cautious about, and that's why
You're
I don't
cautious-
want to amplify it too much.
Right. Okay. Last thing though, again, I think the positive is be aware of your surroundings, and it's a reminder. Just, be aware. Well, to take a right, left turn, a screeching. Anyway, this was on my For You page. It seemed to not be getting off, but then Beyoncé, her album comes out, and I gotta get on to Beyonce talk. I got on Beyonce talk. I stayed up last week to listen to the album. I absolutely love it. I've listened to it like 4 or 5 times now. And every song, I'm like, oh, this is a good song. And then the next song comes, I'm like, this is a good song. And then every song is really good.
Yes, I'm a fan of the album. I really like the playing with genre that she is doing, and I mean, she's also like directly addressing it. It's not subtle. We can say
Right.
that, but like whatever, who cares?
Doesn't need to be.
No.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Miley Cyrus track. I thought that was a
Love.
fun little track.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Overall, the opera track, surprise.
Surprise. I saw a TikTok video about like everyone who is in musical theater or has studied music has done that song. So for them to hear Beyonce do it, it's this amazing thing. To get back to you not believing everything on the internet, I saw a video that said Taylor Swift was a background vocalist on the song Bodyguard. So a lot of people believed it, but it's just not true.
Yeah.
But it was a TikTok video that people took as gospel, but again, like, that's not true. She wasn't on the track.
What I really like about Beyonce's albums, and I haven't actually done this with this specific album yet, is that there are so many layers to the songs and references and the different people who she features, and there's like very precise decisions being made about all the components of the piece. And I know that you had the like Apple Music summaries that as a Spotify user, I don't know if we get those summaries, but I've been waiting to look into it and seeing like which artists are on there and read more about the people who she sort of tapped to come and perform with her. I think that's always pretty enlightening.
One of the artists she spotlighted did a TikTok video. Her name's Tiara Music on TikTok, and her friend is recording her listening to Blackbird for the first time and her vocals on it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Thank you.
She's like uplifting these lesser known artists in addition to having like giant names like Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton, Post Malone, Miley Cyrus
exactly.
on the album. And when I was listening to the Blackbird, I didn't know the story behind Blackbird, and so thanks to TikTok, there was a video by the user Kenzie Keymag, who describes the connection between Blackbird and the Little Rock Nine.
First, I'm Mackenzie Green. I'm the daughter of Ernest Green, civil rights icon of the Little Rock Nine. And if you didn't know, the song Blackbird is about the women of Little Rock. I like to affectionately think to myself that the only Beatles song I have ever loved, liked, sung for my father for his 79th birthday when we were separated by lockdown is about to be on the album of an artist that I adore. Did we know this? No. Have we been reached out to by Parkwood or anybody from Beyonce's team? No, and I don't care. The idea that right now more than ever, when my dad has been recovering from an illness, knowing what he has meant to the movement, knowing what Miss Elizabeth and all of the women of Little Rock Nine have meant to me, knowing that Beyonce is doing this is probably the most special thing that has ever happened to us.
I had no idea about this either. I think it's such a cool part of history, and the fact that Beyonce has featured it and covered it, like, it's amazing.
Yeah, so good song. And then the Jolene cover was also pretty entertaining, and the memes coming out of the Jolene cover are
so
top
good.
notch.
Yes. One more video we want to highlight is by Paolo Travell, and they say it's already the album of the year and it hasn't dropped yet, but it's just them 0.0001 second after the Beyonce album comes out, them taking to Instagram going, album of the year, this is the best.
That was Ivan was at work this past week, and he said that there was a video that went around when Taylor Swift's album When Midnights came out, that it was this guy who was like, I hate Jack Antonoff as a producer so much.
Yes.
I can tell within 1 second whether, this was on Twitter, but it was like, I can tell within 1 second whether or not it was like a song produced by Jack Antonoff. And so he went through and was like, Jack Antonoff, like blind. And Ivan said he was at work and he heard someone's music like blast through their speakers for 1 second. He was like, is that the new Beyonce? And he felt like that guy. But so not in a negative way, because we're pro Beyonce in this household.
Of course. Moving on to what my algorithm, besides, Beyonce, of course, for some reason, I'm getting like baby animal videos this week. I guess I got one and then I got another one, and that's just how the algorithm rolls. But one is from the San Antonio Zoo, and it's of a baby cockatoo, and I had no idea they sounded like this. It also just looks
wild.
Ugh. Sometimes you don't want to see a fetus or when a baby is first born, they're not that cute. This cockatoo is not very cute.
Sometimes you don't want to see a fetus. Yeah, I mean, baby birds are generally really nasty at first. They're very they're like a hairless
slimy
cat.
Right, exactly. Then there's a video by GNert80, and it's a baby monkey enjoying a bath. And this baby monkey also just looks like an old grandpa man, but it's a baby monkey. It's kind of cute.
I thought it was cute. I get a lot of baby animal content.
You do?
Mostly on Instagram Reels, though.
Oh, okay, this is my first like foray into like a lot of baby animal content.
I actually have an amazing anecdote about the videos we see online and people trying to just taking them at face value. Was we went to Trader Joe's a couple days ago, and we were in the aisle where like they have the seltzers and stuff, and there was this guy and this girl, and the girl was holding up this like probiotic soda, which then I ended up buying because they drew so much attention to this freaking probiotic soda, and it was actually pretty good. So the girl's holding the probiotic soda, and the guy's like, try it, open it, try it. And she was like, what? I'm not gonna do that. And he was like, no, you're allowed to try anything. And she was like, what? And then the guy was like, yeah, I like saw that you can sample anything. And he went up to the worker and he was like, can we try this? And the worker was like, I mean, you can like buy it and sample it, or you could like open it and then go buy it. And the guy was like, but I mean, I saw on Instagram Reels that you can sample anything in the store, like anything you'll open up and let us try it. And the person was like, that used to be a thing like before COVID. Which I just thought that was so interesting that this person is seeing like someone do an Instagram Reel that's definitely like, I bet you didn't know this about Trader Joe's. And then the actual Trader Joe's employee was like, no, man, I can't do that.
What does this have to do with baby animals?
It just occurred to me.
Yeah, I like that answer. That's so funny that you saw that transpire. Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to
brain's
police
broken.
your language.
It's okay.
It was just funny to see in real life, because we were talking earlier about like people having no media literacy or like no just like effort to corroborate information that they see on TikTok or Reels. Seeing it happen live was just so funny and very embarrassing. But then it kind of like, he influenced me to buy this seltzer.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice. All right, what's on your For You page this week?
All right, so my algorithm is always just bizarre. And you know I'm kind of in the like fashion and healthcare and skincare space. And so I think this was adjacent to that. It's a video about vacation essentials by @Operation Nikki. And it's pretty long, so we can just do a little bit of it.
I'm on vacation and I'm going to share some essentials I brought that just make sense to me. And my besties who get it will get it. First up, these amazing Calpac packing cubes. I carry a lot when I travel, especially since I'll be traveling for almost a month, and these hold so much. And they also compress to make extra room. I can't get over this Bag Smart makeup bag that held all of my makeup essentials and then some, like this LED mirror that stands alone, so you can make a little vanity situation wherever you go. These Cadence containers that hold all my liquids and are magnetic for easier storage. These refillable perfume bottles, because you know your girl gotta have smell good options. And I'm not traveling anywhere without my trusty cleaning kit. And I can travel by car or by plane with it. Call me extra if you want, but I can't enjoy myself if there's germs involved. I am bidet spoiled. I know my clean girlies feel me. I'm not gonna go into details, but the portable bidet came in so handy. And I can't forget one of my fave essentials, this toothbrush sanitizer, and this very compact water flosser.
In terms of the essentials that she lists, what seems weird to you and what would you like to bring on vacation for yourself?
So I don't know if you remember the person who was like the safety influencer who went viral for like doing all these videos about all the things that she does in her house or in hotel rooms when her husband isn't with her, when she's alone, and it's just like 85 different like locks
steps,
and it's like
right, which no one could
and then people were like
it,
parodying it. See, I also have problems.
We both can
brain
speak,
broken. Yeah. So anyway, so the thing that for me and that is acknowledged in her comment or in her caption is that she cleans everything when she gets there. She has an entire dedicated cleaning kit that she will like scrub the bathroom sink, scrub everything before she will stay at the hotel, which for me is just like, I personally would never.
It's
too much for me. But then the bags, I'm all for a effective travel bag. I have a couple of effective travel bags as someone who travels somewhat frequently. I have some travel bags that I really endorse. I just got a new one. I think I was telling you about this. My cord organizer bag.
Yeah, you love the cord organizer, and you should have gotten the size up. Yep.
She's already bored. I talked to her one time about the cord organizer.
You also mentioned it on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whatever. Cord organizer. So I really like that. I also have a toiletries bag that I really like, that Ivan has the same one. Actually, he had bought me a toiletries bag that I used for a while, and then he got one that I like more, and then I copied him and got this one. So those are the types of bags that I like seeing. But then there's just like absurd shit that I would never buy, that are like those videos of the girl in like somewhere in Asia where she gets home and takes her slippers off and then has like 8,000 different contraptions that you've never seen in your entire life.
Right. So some of the crazier things she brings is a portable washing machine, a portable fan that looks like a Mary Poppins thing. It just like goes out of the bag and like becomes 6 feet tall. The thing that intrigued me, and I think I'm in the market for this, I like the toothbrush cleaner. Mm-hmm. It has like a little light. I kind of like that. I feel like my toothbrush is probably gross when I travel.
Yeah, it's like I mean, my toothbrush is probably gross in general.
Yeah, right now, yeah. So I like that. The other crazy thing was the air purifier, which was a mini purifier. Again, where is her? I don't know how she has space for all these things. There's just so many little things.
It's too much.
It seemed insane.
I mean, this is someone who must be checking a bag. Or did
I don't know.
Yeah,
she didn't even show. That's probably a part 2. But again, it was just, she had to be Mary Poppins. Like she kept pulling out all these crazy things.
I really enjoy the like people being extra with the way that they plan travel, because it just makes me feel like maybe I'm not entirely deranged, but also sometimes I aspire to it. Like there was one time this video where this girl was packing for a trip, and in her notes app created different outfits with every item that she was packing for her trip, and like made a sticker of herself and put it in the notes app. And
we've talked about
like
that, yeah.
I'm
it
sitting,
reminds me of Cher and Clueless has like the computer doing the outfits for the day.
I would love someone to do that for me, but like you will never find me doing. The most you'll ever find me doing is like planning some outfits before I put them in my suitcase.
I do aspire to do that, but it couldn't be me. I'm not that organized.
It ain't me.
My favorite thing, that we were hanging out with Steph Raddick recently, and she was saying that her fiance was taking a blade to JFK, and he was so excited to take the blade, he left his apartment and forgot his suitcase. which to forget your suitcase for a trip and just leave without anything and not realize it is really hysterical to me.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I also think, just briefly going back to the idea of like doing like stickers or like packing expandable fan in your bag, it's sort of like the idea of productivity software. When the productivity software itself starts taking up more time than just packing, just like maybe rethink.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
Like if you're finding yourself being like, I need to spend 85 hours like putting my cubes together, just throw it in the bag.
Just throw some shit in the bag.
You'll be fine.
Exactly. Hey, what else has been on your For You page?
What else has been on my For You page? This was insane. It was a video by I am Gabeo, and I don't know. And it was about him going with friends to get colonics.
Hey TikTok, hey, come with us to get a motherfucking colon cleanse, liver detox, and foot detox. Period. So this is Southwest Georgia Colonics, and this is me entering in. Say hey, and can you tell a little bit about Colonics?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Chanel. The Southwest Georgia Colonics. We help with colon hydrotherapy, liver detoxing, foot detoxing. We also offer some products like Yoni soap, yoni oils, Empress turmeric and kojic soap, as well as some nail enhancements, some detox.
Oh, so you do male enhancements?
We don't do it, but we offer some
Period.
we
Okay.
won't do it for you, but we can give you the stuff to do it.
Okay.
So y'all, first we are doing the foot detox. Okay, y'all, so this is the table that I will be laying on and the table that I would have to be pushing out of, I guess. So y'all see that little thing right there? That's gotta go inside of me. And that's what squirts the water. Look at me. Oh my God. I know you fucking lying.
Baby, no need to apologize.
I'm farting like hell.
Oh, hell. Okay.
Oh, I'm pushing it out.
Okay.
Should I push it out or should I not do that?
You can go on and push.
Okay.
That's the whole goal for your shit.
Can you, where the shit at?
The shit going down in the bed.
Okay.
It's not gonna touch you.
I'm shitting.
Okay, pull your shirt up a little bit. Pull it up some more.
Okay, pal.
Get wet.
All right, thank you. Ooh.
The casual nature of this video is what sends me. Even the person who works there, who's getting video, just everyone's very casual. But the end of the video is, you don't really see anything gross, but he's in the colonic chair with a thing up his butt.
The part where he gets his like feet detoxified, I also like the comment section is just like, your liver detoxifies your body, like you don't need to do this, it's unnecessary. But the foot part was kind of gross, where he like puts his feet in water and then it turns
black.
Like brown or black.
Yeah.
This is why when we're like on TikTok all the time, I think we just become more neurotic about everything, because Melissa has talked about this, where you're just like seeing someone put their feet in water and everything turns black and you're like, oh my God, what garbage is inside my feet? Or like seeing what
See, I disagree, because certain videos do that. Like when I see videos about like young people having like colorectal, cancer, I'm like, damn, like maybe, I should get checked, whatever. Videos like this though,
I mean, this was just funny.
This was just funny to me. Exactly. Like I said, the casual nature of this and the playfulness that these friends are just going about this activity, it was just funny to me.
Should we get colonics next time we're together?
No, that something that has never interested me. I don't think
it's just like an enema, right? It's an enema.
Yeah, it just takes shit out of your body.
He's like, I'm
literally.
shitting.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe you're just so desperate to feel better that you're like, you know what? Let's do an enema.
Yeah.
Wait, I've told you this story before about in high school when I ran out of fiber pills.
Nope.
In high school,
Elaborate.
I had like a very bad habit of taking like a lot of fiber pills. I don't know. I thought that it was like good for me. I'm going to tell the abbreviated version of this story. So I thought that taking fiber pills was good for me. So I would take like so many fiber pills. I would steal my dad's fiber pills and just like sit on the couch and like like take like 20 fiber pills, which was stupid because I was also probably just like peeing all of that out. So one day we were out of fiber pills, and so I took 4 laxatives.
Oh my God. You have told me this story. I've buried this in some of my brain. This is so insane. The fact that you're like, screw drugs. Like, who needs, like, what a teenager usually needs? Give me my fiber pills. What?
Well, I think it was because I was like doing Weight Watchers, and you're supposed to eat a lot of fiber. That was like one of the tenets of Weight Watchers, was to eat more fiber. So I was like, oh, I'll just take more fiber pills. And in lieu of fiber pills, I took 4 laxatives, which, I mean, my like 15-year-old pea brain didn't realize that a laxative is not a fiber pill. And the pain that caused is something that like I'm afraid of laxatives now.
That's a traumatic experience, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For
and
your
I
butthole.
imagine an enema to be similar to that.
Well, I'll never know, 'cause I don't think I'll do one voluntarily.
Should we do a trigger warning since we've been talking about enemas for like 10 minutes?
Nah, I think we're okay. Maybe a trigger warning for fiber pills.
Yeah,
That's
I
insane.
know. Moving on.
Let's move on. New York City TikTok. I saw a video by the Bad Juju Design. about a new sweater trend that's popping up in Brooklyn.
Everybody in Brooklyn has been out of their apartments for the past 2 days, and everybody is also wearing their sweatshirt the same exact way. I'm gonna go ahead and show you exactly how everybody in Brooklyn is wearing their sweatshirts right now. You take your sweatshirt and you put it over your shoulders like such, expecting the good old classic preppy girl tie like this. No, this is not the way people in Brooklyn are wearing their sweatshirts right now. When I tell you, everybody was wearing their sweatshirt like this, everybody. I was going to start filming people, but then I was like, I don't want to be that person, but everybody's doing it. Okay, so they're doing it over one shoulder and then under one armpit like this, and then they're tying this. A lot of the guys I see were doing something like this. Also, a lot of people were doing a knot, but then they're hiding the cuffs of the sweatshirt. So it's kind of just a big knot here like this. And everybody's in Brooklyn just going on their merry way in their cute little sweatshirt tie. What do you think? What?
So basically, instead of wearing your sweater around your neck, one sleeve is around your neck and one sleeve is around your side
It's a
rib
sash.
area.
You wear your sweater
Yeah,
as a sash.
Would you ever do this? Have you done this?
I have not done it. I'm a solid wear my sweater around my waist girly.
Same. So no, I won't be doing this either. But what's interesting, I mean, I work in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn frequently. I haven't noticed this trend, and I feel like I'm going to start noticing it more now.
Pay attention, because I can see the appeal, because when you wear the sweater tied around your neck, it's very hot. So something about having it as a sash could be nice.
Like a messenger bag.
Yeah. But I'm deeply committed to around the waist.
Me too. Okay, let's get to one of our favorite sections. Stitch. Okay.
Oh, I have
video.
heartburn.
Oh.
That really provokes my heartburn.
Take some fiber.
No, I think it's because I ate this peppered beef jerky
Ugh,
that I bought
don't
at
like
the
beef
airport
jerky.
on my way to New York last week.
So it's old beef jerky.
I mean, it's beef jerky. It's aged.
There's probably a lot of preservatives.
It really, I'm in pain right now.
Anyway, this stitch is by _Lauren Rose E1.
This is just me, but does anyone else have a mom that has no clue how to break bad news like a normal?
Lauren Rose, the person who did this video, shares a text message screenshot her mom sends, and it says, "Rip Tiki," and there's a picture of the cat. The cat is Tiki. "I put her down tonight. Sweet dreams." And she responds, "Why didn't you wait for me?" What? My mom is also notoriously bad at giving bad news. So this reminded me when my grandmother on my dad's side died. She came into a room. It was filled, me and my cousin, my aunt were there. We were all there. And the way she delivered the news, she said, "My mother-in-law passed away," which was just the weirdest way to deliver that news, because I don't know why to say my mother-in-law passed away when it's my grandmother and my dad's mom. I don't know. But I've gotten some weird texts from her too, sharing news of people's deaths or bad news for sure. What about you?
This reminded me of, I was just doing a Peloton class the other day with the instructor Dennis, and he was telling this story that was exactly this. He was like, I was in college and I went home and I went out. He was talking about some dog. He was like, and I went home to see my pet dog, and I went outside and I hadn't been home in a while, and I said, "Oh no, the fence is open. Whatever the dog's name isn't must have run away. That's so bad." And his mom was like, "Oh sweetie, we put them down in October."
Oh jeez.
And also, but the added level of saying this in Peloton class.
That's crazy. Well, that reminds me of the famous Wendy Williams clip on the show. She goes, "My mother, she died, but my mother." That was her announcement of her mother dying. I could watch that TikTok clip over
the Wendy Williams.
So
it's bad because her mental health is evidently
it is bad,
not
but
there,
her
but
show
her
is
content
so good.
was so good.
Yes, and speaking of my mother, I played what I think is a brilliant April Fool's joke on her this week. I told her that Ben and I have decided we'd like to get married on a cruise ship, and knowing she does not like cruises, And I would say she held back a little, but she was giving her opinion on why she thought it'd be a bad idea. And it was so unhinged.
I think that this would really make a good TikTok. I think that you should post it.
I know. She doesn't want me to share it on TikTok. So I will respect that for now.
It's really frustrating for me personally because I think that you could go viral, but that's fine. We will respect her and her wishes. But and
just talk about her on the podcast that she listens to. Hi, Mom.
As someone who listened to The Reasoning, Pamela, you were very fixated on the desserts.
That they spent so much money.
I didn't understand what the point was.
Dinner.
I didn't understand what the point was. The cruises, I would say she spent, of the 4-minute video you sent me, 1.5 minutes talking about the desserts, which I just didn't understand what the point was. Was it like on cruises you can't get a good variety of desserts?
It was that they couldn't get everyone together for a dinner, so it was just one night where they just spend a lot of money on desserts and there was no dancing. So I think she fixated on the desserts but also was more upset that there wouldn't be dancing.
I went to a wedding on land where there was no dancing.
Oh, that's terrible.
So was there dancing at your brother's wedding actually? Because it was like sort of like...
Yeah, we danced at the house a little after, but no.
It wasn't structured
It wasn't
dancing.
typical.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't typical because there was no band or DJ. It was
also small. It was
yeah.
kind of more like a party
small, yeah.
and less
There was more, and it was more like a scavenger hunt. Like we had different stops along. There was dancing and singing on the party bus, actually, to all the various locations.
Excellent. That's good. Speaking of your brother, apparently Ivan works this one night at the cafe he works at where there's like mimes and magicians come in. And he name dropped your brother the other week and they knew him.
Yeah, he's
big in the comedian / magician world.
Yeah, he's a big deal. Go check out Harrison Greenbaum.
At Harrison Greenbaum. Is that his at? Probably.
I think it might be at Harrison Comedy, but you could find him.
Whatever. We did you a solid, Harrison. I know you're out there listening.
All right. Moving on to a filter that I love. There's a video by Queen of Getting Banned. It's also, she stitches it to show what profession the filter thinks she should be.
This filter guesses your profession based on your face.
Hello? What just happened, y'all?
What profession were you? I can't remember.
You can't remember mine? Oh, it was so perfect. It was a McDonald's
Oh
worker.
my God, yes, that was so good. It also messes with your face.
Yes, so it looks slightly like you, but like a bizarre version of you.
And Melissa and I were both a farmer on a tractor. And also, I had seen this filter before we were talking about it in our group chat, and I had already done it. And that time I also was a farmer on a tractor.
Wow.
So it remains consistent, at least in my experience.
Yeah, Ivan was a barber.
Yes, which is funny because he needs a haircut.
And then Harrison's wife, Emily, did it. She was a soccer player, but a man version, and it was giving She's the Man, like Amanda Bynes, like straight up.
And our friend Claudio was a priest.
Which is so perfect.
It was just, it could not possibly have been a better profession for Claudio.
Yeah, such a good filter. Go check it out.
Check out that filter. Good work.
All right, we got 2 more sections. Quickly, we got to spotlight a celebrity on TikTok. Celebrity is JWoww. She's getting her daughter involved on her TikToks, rating her outfits. This is so smart.
Yeah.
Here's a little clip.
Part 2 of rating my mom's outfits. So this one is like, it's like a 6 out of 10. Like, no. Like a 5 out of 10. This, I don't know what it's giving. It's giving Barney the dinosaur.
Oh my God.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Her daughter is sassy, just like her, which is why the video works.
What do you expect, you know?
Yeah, it's so good.
I have seen a few of the JWoww and her daughter videos, and I wonder how old her daughter is. Like 6?
Let's look it up.
No, you look it up.
I am.
All right, I'll wait. What's the verdict?
J-Will's daughter's 9 years old.
Wow, I don't know children ages.
You were close. 3 years off.
She's small.
Close enough. Yeah.
I was like, she's small and can speak.
Must be 6.
I guess she's a little bit too articulate for being 6, you know? Like, she's joking in a way that sometimes I don't think 6-year-olds would joke.
Yeah, she's very witty. Mm-hmm. Last but not least, we have our food section. Ashley, friend of the pod, has been talking about doing this. It's a video by a thirsty whale, and it's about milk punch.
Let's make a delicious clarified milk punch. Stick with me, this is going to be such a treat for you. First, we're going to make our base for the punch, our foundation, the oleo saccharum. It's like a concentrated syrup. It's all the lemon oils, 6 lemons peeled, 2 tablespoons of your sugars, not your boogers. If you don't squeeze your own citrus, you're not going to have a milk punch. You're going to have a sucker punch. Yeah. Next, 2/4 cups of a simple syrup, preferably not spilling it. 2 cups of a nice aged rum, 1 cup whiskey. Next, 4 cups of whole milk. Look at that. What a little nice stew we got going. You don't need to heat the milk. That's bullcrap. The milk reacts to the acidity. Then it curds up. Those curds act like a filtration system. Stay tuned. Let this sit for at least an hour or 2. I don't know if you can see it, but it's coming out nice and clear.
Have you had milk punch?
I don't think I've had it, but basically this milk punch is liquor that's fortified with milk, but then like strained, so you don't get the curdled milk.
Right.
In the
like
end,
the whey
it just
separates out the whey.
Yeah, and there's simple syrup.
Is it whey?
Yeah, it separates the milk, the curdled milk.
We're doing a really good job describing milk punch.
I don't know, but it's an alcohol. I wouldn't make it. I would too many steps, but I would try it.
I was just
drink it, of course.
Thinking it was funny that Ashley said she wanted to do this, and knowing like the size of her apartment and just imagining her with like milk and vials in her apartment.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. If I had a house, I maybe would try, but probably not, because the curdling of the milk looks kind of gross. But to do it in an apartment in a small space seems not worth it.
I mean, it's not that much. It's really mostly a lot of filtering,
right?
Like a lot of straining, and you need a big container. And then I assume you put it in. Did you put it in the fridge? I watched it on 2x speed, so I can't remember if there's like a fridge moment. But the other thing that I would be concerned about is if I have to refrigerate it. But I guess liquor you don't normally refrigerate. But it has milk in it, so I feel like you should refrigerate it. I don't know.
But it doesn't really have milk in it in the end because it separates. So it's, I don't know. That's why it's weird.
I mean, it has milk in it, but the whey is... So when you make clarified butter, for example, and you heat butter, you're separating the milk solids from the other stuff. And the dairy. And so the milk solids are what you're separating in this also. So ghee is clarified butter, but you can make clarified butter by just heating butter on your stovetop and then like scooping away or straining out the milk solids. So I was kind of understanding that scientific aspect of the process, but it still seems to me like something you might need to refrigerate.
We'll find out.
You'll find out.
What's the next video you have on this
I
list?
added this because it's a guy who started a series. His username is @BoxyMeat, and it's called Will It Martini, where he takes different pickled items and sees if they make a good martini.
Hello and welcome to Will It Martini, the show where I take a random pickled object and see if I can make a martini out of it. On this episode, capers, 2.5 ounces of gin, 1/2 ounce of vermouth, 1/2 ounce of caper juice, ice, garnish, taste test, 9 out of 10.
So in this video, his pickled item of choice is a caper, and he likes it.
Okay, I love this guy. He has great videos. I did this during the pandemic with artichoke juice to see if it would martini, because I thought like it's similar to pickle. Let me try it with artichoke. It didn't taste very good, but everyone thought I was crazy for doing it.
No, I wouldn't think that's crazy. I think it's very common. Ever since we were in New Orleans and we had that caprese martini, I'm
that was
very
good.
open to martinis iterations.
Yeah, of all varieties.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah,
actually,
go check out Boxy.
You know what I had yesterday and this is food related, before we wrap up this section and our pod?
What?
pickle soup. Apparently, it's going around on the internet right now. It hasn't been on my feed.
It hasn't been on mine either.
It is a clear-ish soup. By that, I mean it's just
not like a split pea. It's not thick.
It's not thick. It's not
more brothy.
It's more brothy, right? And
Interesting.
It has like a dill pickle base, and then it has like parsnips and potatoes in it. And you can add sour cream when you're eating it. It was good. I liked it.
Oh,
I'm not a big boiled potato person, but the flavor was quite nice.
But what does the boiled potato have to do with it? It's a pickle.
Because it's in the soup. Like,
okay. Oh, I see.
It's in the soup. The pickle is like kind of like the flavor. I think you could chop the pickles smaller. They're not like big chunks. Mm-hmm. So it's like a dill pickle broth. And then there's like chunks of vegetable. And then you can like add, someone said it was like kind of like a borscht.
I love a borscht.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great note to end on.
I love a borscht. Hot or cold, Dina?
Both.
Okay, that's valid. Okay. Oh, wait, one more. Hot or cold lobster roll?
Oh my God. Both. I actually like both. I can't decide.
I would say hot.
I would eat it all.
I would say hot. I mean, I would obviously eat the other one, but if I'm going to choose which one is superior, hot butter. Hot butter versus cold mayo.
Valid. Okay. I'm equal on that. Well,
on that note,
thank you for listening.
We are suddenly from an unknown region of somewhere.
All right. Please share, rate, review, subscribe. See you next week.
Bye.